Hey everyone, so I've been wanting to make these videos for a long time. Like this is, in fact, I was actually going to wait till I actually had some software so I could actually show visual simulations of these things, these psychedelic dreams that I've had. And I do apologize for people who have heard me talk about this stuff before, or they hear any of the stories that I've repeated on or stuff. But hopefully through these videos I can provide maybe more information about these experiences and why they're so meaningful to me and why I feel compelled to talk about them and stuff like that. So, but the first one I want to start off with is I think it is the has there's so many though that are just like, and some of them I wouldn't even sure if I would actually call them like, I have to call them psychedelic dreams. I mean, that's the only one that makes sense. Anyways, so uh, I guess we'll start off with I guess whatever I end up calling it. I'm going to call it the what am I going to call it? Let me see. What am I going to call it? I think I'm going to call it Ripple Love. I feel like that's fitting. This dream, to be quite honest, is probably one of the closest experiences I've had to ever feeling loved by the Magiverse. If you, that's how I see it, the Magiverse, the universe. In terms of like really deep connection, and from what I can remember, because it was quite some time ago, we're talking maybe months, years, possibly, probably months. I don't know if it was this year. It might have been. It might have been last year, the tail end of last year. Anyways, whenever it was, the I had, which seems to be common theme with these experiences, is that, and once again, sorry for repeating myself if I've seen it. So, this Ripple Love experience started out as me basically waking up from a sleep, and then, you know, when you wake up from a sleep, you get that sort of breaded sugar feeling over your eyes. It's like this sweet, euphoria, breaded sweet feeling that happens over your eyes, and it makes you want to close your eyes, and it's this warm, comforting experience. Well, I had that, and then I obviously went to sleep, and then all of a sudden, I basically just got like, I was in some kind of like room, like a room. I'm sorry if I'm hyperventilating. I'm getting very paranoid in this room because I went to eat today, and I don't know what the hell I've eaten, so I'm just getting a bit paranoid. And the pareidolia is crazy right now. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. I might talk about it, but I currently want to focus on this dream. So, okay, I can get through this. Okay. So I was seeing this room, and it was covering my field of vision, and then on the left side it was like this furniture, more like cabinets that you would have in a kitchen, and it was all sort of white tones and like light grey tones, maybe beige tones. And then over here in the background, you had like a glass window door framed into a garden, like a glass garden door. It might have been split. I think it was split, and there was one side here, one side there. And then there was a green horizon. The green might have been like a dark green. I'm feeling it was more bright green. Yeah. And then like on the right side, I guess this is the right side. No, it's the left side on the video. But on the right side, I don't remember. There might have been a plant there. And the sensation experience I was already getting from this was a sense of contentment, like intense contentment and safety, and just like I was like I was just unstoppable. You know, sorry, that's not meant to sound egotistical, but it just felt like I was secure, I think would be the better word, and in this dream, yeah. And then like, you know, whilst that's happening, and that's not, you know, this is all happening at the same time. Sorry, I'm just hyperventilating. I had, it was like this ripple, this like, and it was like oscillating the actual colors of this background in my field of vision, I guess. And it was like, but it was rippling in this sort of like, kind of like you see in cartoons when they go, and it's like this flutter, and it's like this flutter of like musical notes coming out. It's like, it was like that, and the motion of that was what the ripple was moving like. It was like fast as well. It was like a fast, like that, with the fluttering, with the notes coming out, but there was no notes, of course. And the colors of this ripple, and it was like a raindrop ripple, by the way, or like a thick wavy ripple with like little like sections of it, and it was more like thick ripples actually, and it was going like those sections of them, and I think it was just like this, like, but it was going fast, so it was like like a projector. It was almost like a projector in terms of like the motion speed, and it was rippling like a fluttering ripple, but fast. And the colors was like red and orange and purples and maybe greens and stuff like this, and yellows. And I was hearing like sounds of my voice, I think, saying some shit or some voice or something, and it was going from the left side of my ear to the right side of my ear to the left side of my ear. This is all genuine, by the way. There's no bullshit. This is 100% serious. Like, so it was left ear, and then it would go mute in the other ear, and then like I would hear it in the right ear, and then it would go mute in the left ear or something like that, whatever order it was. And then whilst this was happening, and this is the bit that, you know, whilst I'm already feeling this beautiful like safety feeling, and also on top of that, like this warm, saturated and orangey like euphoria, like something was hugging me, like I felt like I was being hugged like intensely with this like this bolsterous like fog of like I want to say smoke, but like a fog of like warm like comfort, right? Whilst this is happening, the color experience of my mind had changed to be more like this. It was like I was experiencing the brain, like the functionality of my brain with the speed of this projector, right? And the actual animation style, like of the motion, was like this fluttering projector speed motion, like this brrr, brrr, brrr. I'm 100% serious. This is as best as I can explain it, and this is pretty fucking accurate, to be honest. But it was like the way that my mind, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. If I could go back to it, I would. It was like the most. It was like I was actually like connecting to like, that was my love. It was like the love of my life. Like, I'm not even joking. It felt clenched, like something was like squeezing at it, but at the same time, like it was like the way that my mind functioned was in this sort of like psychedelic confused animation style, in the way that the actual geometry, how should I explain this? You have like the actual animation style of the speed. I guess it was like two animations at the same time combined. I guess that's what it was. It was like that projector fluttering speed to it, but at the same time, it was like there was geometry to the motion, and the geometry to the motion was very similar to what I would imagine in a cartoon somebody being confused would be like, or having their mind just twisted and fucked up in weird quonky ways. It was like, I mean, it really was like having your mind messed up, like in a psychedelic sense. It was the most beautiful experience. And if to try and describe it anymore, it was like this, the colors the colors were like I'm just gonna be honest, it was like dark browns and reddish oranges, and these are the kind of color experiences I would and analog it to, or whatever the word is, and analogize to. It was clenched. Um, it was it's like, it's kind of like this. It's like, that's kind of vibe. If that makes any sense to you, is that kind of vibe, like, but not like liquidy like that. It was more, I mean, kind of, um, but the way that it was moving, it was like when I can't remember exactly the detail, but it was something along the lines of whenever I would think of a thought or whatever my mind was doing at that moment, it was like skewed and altered, and like, so it was almost like somebody had like hammered my head in, like, and my brain was kind of fucked up, like the way that the colors of the animation, the color animation, the broken color animation experience of my mind was altered, clenched, and having something control me to that level, it was everything that I wanted. It was like, that's it. That's what I want in another person, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like someone able to. I know that might not be possible. Maybe it is possible. I have certainly had some experiences that were pretty bizarre with people, and I probably should make a video out of that. But just to briefly go over it, I was on some kind of dating site for gays or sissies, maybe even. And this guy, I talked to him on the webcam, and we got a bit, and it just, the experience of talking to him or her, I don't remember, it affected me internally. It was like he was changing the colors, or she was changing the colors internally inside of me, like, and able to like control it and manipulate it in ways I've never experienced. In that sense, much in my life. I mean, of course, there's been moments, and perhaps there's been times when it has happened, but nothing like that dream. Nothing like that. And this is no bullshit. This happened, right? And I could try and describe it more. It was just, like I said, it's just skewed. Like, it's like geometry moving in my head, but more like brain functionality sense of it. If that makes any sense. That's the bit. I think that's as close as it's gonna get, really. At least until I do the simulation part. And then of course it was a short-lived dream. For whatever reason, I guess I woke up. I think, I don't know if I woke up because I heard a sound. There's one dream where I woke up and I heard a fucking crazy sound, and I'm pretty damn sure it was a hallucination sound, or like a hypnagogic sound, or a waking dream state sound. But I'm pretty damn sure. It's very rare that it would be anything else. I'm pretty damn sure. But yeah, so I just woke up, I guess, and I'll tell you, once I was experiencing that dream, it was so sweet flavored, but like sweet, but in this sort of elaborated, like comforting way, and not sweet like a sickening sweet. It was more like a comforting sweetness, like a mm, like I'm being massaged, like, to be honest, it was a very it was a sexual experience in a sense. It really was for me. And like I was being massaged, and I was secure and safe, and just the ultimate alignment of love. It was, you know what I mean, in all, and especially in, because my love language is physical touch. So it was to be physically altered from a color perspective at that level was just, you know, I want to have that again. You know, I want to be in that state again. You know, and or meet people who are capable of that, and be in long-term connections with them, or that person. Um, so yeah, and how I felt after that, it was like, and I think at this period of time, it was just at the early stages of me looking into like the whole psychedelic things and getting interested into that in a more literal sense. Because I once I realized that they weren't that harmful unless you go stupid or fuck around too much. And when I say like harmful, I don't mean like it fucks up your brain in a way that's not repairable necessarily. What I mean is like, it's basically serotonin syndrome and losing your fucking mind, you know, where you just jump. I mean, likelihood of you doing that, as long as you're doing it respecting the psychedelic, whatever that is, it's nothing to really necessarily worry about. I wouldn't say take it lightly though. That shit, and you'll get to experiencing that kind of stuff, and other dreams that you're gonna see, and the stuff that I've experienced, which you'll get to realize in these story times or whatever. You'll get to understand why you don't fuck around with psychedelics without being aware of what you're getting into, because it ain't a fucking, it's not like, this is like stuff that is like the kind of shit where you didn't even know your brain was capable of doing it kind of shit. It's that kind of stuff. It's like unknown territory kind of stuff, literally. It's like, there's so many aspects to it that, you know, you have to be aware of before you get into it, because it will fuck around. It'll be like, oh shit, why am I seeing something like that? Or, you know, it could trigger something, you know. So anyways, that's not really what this video is about. So but anyway, so I basically woke up and I felt warm, I felt at peace. You know, when you wake up from a sleep and you just feel like everything's reset, and it's just like, basically you feel secure. And yeah, and I was shocked. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I don't necessarily remember exactly what happened, but I think I was like, I was in love with it. I think I was in love with it, and I wanted to go back to it and experience it more. And, you know, I felt, in a sense, turned on by it, to be honest with you. And yeah, and would do that again. So that was that dream. Now I'm going to get on to other ones. I think I'm going to talk about the hypnagogic goblin one, because that was fucking crazy. And I know I have another one, and then another one, and another ones. And anyways, so I hope you enjoyed that. And this has truly happened, right? Okay, like, this isn't bullshit. I experienced this. I wasn't deluded or anything like this. And I very much think this is very much DMT-like, which is partly the reason why I want to make these videos as well. Because I think that these are very similar to DMT experiences. However, one of my dreams makes me question that there's something else going on here, or it's like an imitation or a recreation. There's a lot of theories I have about how these dreams come about in some areas of it anyways. But perhaps I'll make one video where I talk about that in it just as its own topic, because I feel like it needs its own video. Anyways, time to get onto the hypnagogic goblin one. Yeah, that one was like, what? That one was definitely DMT. Anyways, it's psychedelic dreams though. It wasn't deemed. I didn't actually take DMT. It's psychedelic dreams, which is a psychoactive experience, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, honestly, and if you want to comment or whatever, and you tell me your experiences, and or comment on this video, I genuinely want to hear. You know, when people say this, it's like, oh, they're just clouting, or whatever word you want to use for comments, so that it can work the algorithm. Well, first of all, I don't make money off this at this point in time. I don't know how that will work out in the future, but at this moment in time, I'm not actually. I find advertisements kind of broken. I don't really want to be a part of it, but you know, if that's the only way I can make money in this life, then I'm going to do it. You know what I mean, and do it well. But I'm not. But my goal isn't necessarily to put advertisements in front of your face. You know, preferably. My goal is to actually provide experiences that are pleasurable, magical, and healing in a broken environment. Of course, everything's broken. Everything's broken, internally and externally, for everybody. Everything. Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely want to hear what people's experiences are, what they think about this one, and what they think how this came about. Because I think that if you do DMT, like every time that I see people doing DMT, generally speaking, they close their eyes. Now you can't open your eyes, and it makes you feel tired. And I think the same experience is happening when you're in that sleepy, dreamy kind of vibes. Like when you have that feeling in your eyes, I think that's like DMT related. Anyways, that's going off topic, I guess would be the word, or not of the video. So I will start working on the hypnagogic goblin now. Thank you for watching.